They told you power was earned through goodness, through patience, through kindness. But power doesn't reward virtue. Power rewards leverage. Strategy, control. The world isn't ruled by the best men. It's ruled by the ones who understand how the game is played. And Machiavelli exposed the game in its rawest form. A prince does not need to be loved. He only needs to be feared enough and seen as virtuous enough to keep his crown. You were raised in a world of illusions, where honesty is taught, but manipulation is practiced. Where virtue is advertised, but power hides in plain sight. And if you don't understand how power really works, you'll always serve someone who does. This is not about corruption. This is about clarity. It's time to unlearn the lies. Let's begin. Like, subscribe, and comment if you're ready to stop playing the fool and start building your own inner kingdom. We were told, be loyal, stand by your people, die on your feet before you kneel. But no one warned us what happens when the people vanish, when the ones you stood by don't stand by you. Power has no memory. It rewards the useful, not the faithful. It shakes your hand with one palm while sharpening the blade with the other. Machiavelli didn't speak in riddles. He told the truth. It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. Why? Because fear respects what loyalty forgets: the balance of consequence. The world of power is not a family. It's a chessboard, and pawns who confuse emotion with leverage get sacrificed without hesitation. Loyalty in the hands of the powerful is not sacred. It's strategic. You're not kept because you're kind. You're kept because your presence still serves the plan. And the second it doesn't, you're erased, silently, efficiently, like you were never there. And here's the tragedy. Most men don't realize this truth until it's too late. Until the cause they bled for moves on without them. But this chapter, right now, is where your new story begins. Because power isn't evil, indifferent. And that indifference can either break you or make you untouchable. You were taught to be obedient. Now you must learn to be strategic. You were raised to serve. Now it's time to build a position no one can ignore. Here are 5 ruthless shifts to escape the illusion of loyalty and become the kind of manpower never discards. 1. Prioritize position, not promises. Never bet your future on someone's word, especially not in systems ruled by incentives. People say what they intend, but power shifts faster than loyalty. Build your value through position: what you own, what you control, and what they can't afford to lose. 2. Know when to walk away. If you can't leave, you're not loyal. You're trapped. Loyalty only means something when you have the freedom to choose. Train yourself to see exits and have the discipline to take them when respect fades. 3. Build quiet leverage. Power whispers before it roars. Learn skills they don't see coming. Forge alliances they underestimate. Leverage isn't loud. The most dangerous man in the room often speaks last, or not at all. 4. Detach emotion from obligation. You owe people what they've earned, not what you feel. Letting guilt or nostalgia dictate your choices puts you in chains. Emotional maturity is the ability to choose clarity over comfort. 5. Reward power-aware relationships. Surround yourself with people who understand boundaries, those who respect your time, your growth, and your standards, not just your history. This creates a circle of value, not a cage of emotional blackmail. Power doesn't betray you. It simply moves forward, with or without you. Stop trying to be remembered for your loyalty. Start becoming indispensable through strategy. That is the first step to building your inner citadel. The world doesn't reward the truth. It rewards the appearance of truth. You may be wise, you may be competent. You may carry the scars of experience on your back. But if the world can't see it, they will never respond to it. That's the ruthless law of influence. And Machiavelli, he understood this better than anyone. Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you really are. The crowd sees a mask. Only a rare few see the man behind it. And in a world run by perception, he who controls the image controls the outcome. Don't believe me? A lion may have strength, but the fox survives by illusion. And in the court of kings, strength without strategy is just a target waiting to be removed. Influence, at its core, is a performance of power. Not manipulation, but intentional presentation. Not lies, but framing the truth with precision. Because whether you like it or not, people don't believe what's real. They believe what feels real. You don't need to deceive, you need to curate. You don't need to fake strength, you need to signal it. These are 5 strategic shifts to take control of your image and shape how power moves around you, without ever saying a word. 1. Master the silent signal. Your posture, pace, presence, they speak before you open your mouth. Move with deliberate calm. Make others adjust to your rhythm. This shift makes you seem in control, even before you act. 2. Speak less, mean more. Influence isn't volume, it's weight. Let your words carry consequence. Speak when it matters. When you rarely speak, others listen harder when you do. 3. Control the frame, not the fight. Don't argue. Reframe. Set the terms of the discussion so you never play defense. Influence is about position, not persuasion. Define the narrative early. 4. Curate what they see. Don't overshare. Give glimpses, not your whole soul. Let mystery do half the work. Influence thrives in controlled exposure. 5. Craft a consistent archetype. Are you the strategist, the enforcer, the calm observer? Choose your character, then reinforce it visually, verbally, behaviorally. Influence multiplies when others can summarize your power in one sentence. You are not what you feel. You are what others perceive. Unless you learn to define that perception yourself. Influence isn't about being liked. It's about being understood and remembered. You don't need to fake it, but you do need to forge the mask. That tells the world who they're dealing with. Fear. You've been taught its weakness, that it's something to avoid, to suppress, to overcome. But Machiavelli didn't fear fear. He studied it. He wielded it like a blade. It is much safer to be feared than loved. If one must choose, he wrote. Now, listen closely. Fear doesn't break men. Unused fear does. Suppressed fear, avoided fear. That's what eats you alive. But when you know how to use it, when you can sit with it, sharpen it, and focus it, fear becomes fuel. You don't run from it, you redirect it. Because those who fear confrontation get conquered. But those who understand fear command the battlefield. Power isn't the absence of fear. It's the capacity to hold it and remain unmoved. Like fire, fear can destroy you. Or it can light the torch you lead with. So what do you do with fear? You don't run. You don't conquer it. You study it. You break it down. You use it like a strategist uses terrain. Here are 5 tactical shifts to turn fear into fuel and make it serve your rise, not sabotage it. 1. Name your fear. Clearly. Don't blur it. Don't generalize it. Be surgical. I fear being humiliated. Fear becoming irrelevant. Precision kills paralysis. You can't fight what you haven't defined. 2. Attach fear to a deadline. Give it a clock. Time your enemy. In 30 days, I face it. In 10 days, I move. Vague fear roams. Timed fear focuses. 3. Redirect fear toward the right enemy. Don't fear failure. Fear regret. Don't fear pain. Fear stagnation. Shift the object of your fear, and you shift your urgency. 4. Show controlled discomfort publicly. Walk into challenges visibly. Speak calmly under pressure. Fear is contagious, so is fearlessness. Signal to others, I do not collapse. 5. Weaponize routine against panic. Fear thrives in chaos, but order, ritual. They silence the internal storm. When fear rises, fall back to your disciplines, not your feelings. Every powerful man has fear. The difference? Doesn't shrink from it. He sharpens it. He lets it sting him awake. He lets it build the walls of his inner citadel. And when others panic, he remains still. Because he understands. Fear isn't the enemy. Fear is the test. And if you use it right, fear becomes the shadow of your courage. Power does not respect potential. It respects preparation. Every man thinks he'll rise when the time comes. But Machiavelli knew. Fortune only favors the prepared. It is not titles that honor men, but men that honor titles. In a world ruled by perception, chaos, and advantage, you either prepare like a predator or get fed to one. When power knocks, it doesn't wait. You don't get time to get ready. If you're not already in position, the moment passes you by, and the tragedy. Most men don't fail because they're not good enough. They fail because they're not ready, not trained, not rehearsed, not strategically positioned. Power doesn't care about your excuses. It respects only what you've already built when nobody was watching. Tone shift, direct, powerful, assertive, like a commander issuing orders. So how do you prepare for a life that moves like a storm? How do you earn respect from power instead of begging for scraps? Here are 5 tactical shifts that turn passive dreams into dominant strategy. 1. Train before the spotlight. Master skills in silence. Study in the dark. Practice in isolation. By the time opportunity arrives, you'll be the only one already ready. 2. Visualize strategic scenarios. Don't just daydream. Simulate. If my enemy does this, I respond with that. Preparedness is mental chess. Predict, prepare, position. 3. Build a disciplined fortress. Waking early, tracking progress, practicing restraint. These are not minor habits. They're infrastructure. Power flows where discipline fortifies. 4. Turn downtime into war game. While others scroll, you scale. Every break is a chance to learn, plan, or improve positioning. Preparation thrives when comfort is rejected. 5. Control what you can ruthlessly. Sleep, focus, schedule. A man who controls his basics controls the battlefield of life. Chaos doesn't move him because he's already built order. Most men fall not from failure, but from being unready when life tested them. Power doesn't arrive with warning signs. It comes like lightning, sudden, blinding, and violent. And when it hits, only the prepared rise. So ask yourself, if the call came today, would you hesitate? Or would you step into position like it was always yours? In war, brute force loses to strategy, and life is war. Machiavelli never worshipped strength. He studied how kings fell, not from weakness, but from their failure to think. It is better to be feared than loved. If you cannot be both, the strong rush in, the strategic watch, they wait. They strike once, and it's done. We are taught to hustle, push harder, do more. But Machiavelli whispers something different. Move with calculated intention. In a world that glorifies chaos and aggression, the one who studies patterns wins without fighting, and the man who doesn't dies swinging. Loud, proud, and ultimately forgotten. If strength is your only weapon, you've already lost. Because the world isn't moved by muscle. It's moved by intelligence in motion. Here are 5 strategic shifts to build an empire, not a cage. 1. Stop reacting. Start calculating. When something hits you emotionally, don't move. Analyze. Emotional reaction is the death of strategy. Your enemy wants speed. Give him silence. 2. Think in consequences, not moments. Never ask what feels good now. Ask, what does this decision cost long term? The wise man thinks in chessboards, not checkers. 3. Plan like an assassin, act like a ghost. Make no announcements. Let no one know your angle. By the time they realize your move, it's too late to respond. 4. Study power, not just passion. Everyone wants meaning. Few understand maneuvering. Read Machiavelli. Study war. Understand leverage. Passion is fire, but strategy is the fireproof plan. 5. Protect your position relentlessly. Don't waste energy on things that don't fortify your fortress. Ask every day, does this make me harder to defeat? If not, cut it. Life is not a fair fight. It never was. But the man who plays it like a game of strategy, not an emotional battle, becomes untouchable. While others burn out, break down, or lash out, he moves like water. Invisible, effective, inevitable. He is dangerous not because of power, but because of how he chooses to use it. And that's the man Machiavelli feared. The one who plans in silence and wins without mercy. There is a room that no one sees, no crowds, no enemies, no stage, just you and your throne. Machiavelli understood something most miss. Power is not just domination, it is discretion. The first method for estimating the intelligence of a ruler is to look at the men he has around him. Your inner court is your mental council. It's what you allow into your space. Your time, your beliefs, your standards. Because before you rule a kingdom, you must govern your mind. And that's what separates the tyrant from the king. One reacts, the other reflects. One builds fear, the other builds fortress. One needs applause, the other rules. In silence, you've studied war. You've learned detachment. You've embraced discipline. Now you must lead yourself. Here are 5 shifts to build your inner court. 1. Audit your circle relentlessly. Ask, do these people strengthen my vision or weaken it? Cut access. Upgrade alliance. This is your counsel, not your audience. 2. Train daily in mental sovereignty. Meditate, reflect, read strategy. Write intentions. Your inner world must be clearer than the battlefield, or you'll get pulled into every war that isn't yours. 3. Guard your time like territory. Time is the ultimate resource. Schedule like a commander. Eliminate distractions. Every wasted hour weakens your citadel. 4. Refine a personal code. A kingdom without law is chaos. Write yours, live it. This is your constitution. When emotions rise, your code rules. 5. Know when to retreat into silence. Not every challenge requires force. Sometimes the most powerful move is stillness. Walk away, plan, return sharper. The throne waits. Power was never the goal. Mastery was. The world teaches domination, but you were made for discipline, clarity, and calculated authority. Machiavelli's warning wasn't to become a tyrant, but to understand how they operate and choose something higher. This is the real Renaissance, when a man stops chasing titles and becomes the ruler of his own mind. The war isn't out there, it's inside. Build your inner court, master the game in silence, and become untouchable. Like, subscribe, and comment. I rule from within. Welcome to the Inner Citadel Project.